Sup people, Shiny Piece here, and welcome to a video where I spend too long talking about a piece of fiction to try to make myself look smart. Instead of reviewing the entirety of a show like I normally do, I'm going to be sticking to just one character. I can't do a full-on review of the show Camp Camp as it hasn't yet finished airing, and I am not waiting until this show is over to talk about it, damn it. Camp Camp is a popular adult cartoon made by the online community Rooster Teeth that's garnered a pretty large following, myself included. I went into the show not knowing at all what to expect, then stayed up a million hours past my curfew to binge watch it. I've already done a Fan Art Friday for it, and have even admitted to it being one of my favorite shows. Now, I should say quickly that there will be spoilers for the first 3 seasons of Camp Camp in this video, so if you haven't seen the show, do so or I swear I will fucking find you. The events of Camp Camp take place at Camp Campbell, a mixture of different types of summer camps from art to theater to science, and at this camp, hijinks ensue. Alright, there's more to the story than I'm letting on, but I'm not going that much into detail about it because I'm going to be focusing on the show's main character, Max. Max is a moody, sinister, easily agitated 10-year-old who's shown since he first debuts to absolutely despise Camp Campbell because of its cheap layout and the annoying staff. Instead of at all trying to make friends, Max instead spends his time getting into trouble and making the staff's job harder than it needs to be. Our MC's antics and annoyance are usually directed at the overly chipper David, one of the only 2 staff members at the campsite, because of his incessant attempts to get Max to like camping along with his annoyingly cheerful personality. From the first interaction the two have, we can tell that Max is a grouchy straight man meant to play off of the goofier characters in the show. But as the story progresses, we find out that there's more to him than just that. During the first season, our MC's goal is to escape Campbell and head into the town. While it seems like Max loathes being outdoors and would prefer to be home in the city, in the episode City Survival, where the plot is centered around the characters in the town, he hates every second being there. The only part of the city that he likes is the park, which other characters are quick to point out is very reminiscent of Camp Campbell. While Max obviously enjoys the outdoors more than he does the large city, during the first 2 seasons, he keeps insisting otherwise, as if he doesn't even want to give the camp a chance. He always says that the activities are a waste of time, that the staff is incompetent, and, most frequently, he claims that a summer camp is a place parents send their children to when they don't want to put up with them. By his distaste for being at the camp, it's already obvious that his parents forced him to go, but they didn't do so because they wanted him to socialize, make new friends, or even get some fresh air. They sent him because they just wanted him gone. They signed him up for a cheap camp in the middle of nowhere to get him away for a few months, didn't sign up what type of camp they wanted him to go to, didn't sign in his full name, and didn't even leave their information or any way to contact them if something happened. If the only friend Max had before the summer is a deformed teddy bear with its stuffing showing, it's telling that he probably didn't have any friends or siblings to talk to, and that his parents didn't pay attention to him or things that he needed. One thing that I love this show for is how it handles its character motivation. I've seen a handful of shows that have completely unlikable characters that they try to make sympathetic by giving them sappy, sad backstories without actually trying to make them likable on their own. Even though Max is the no-nonsense straight man who can be a bit of a jerk at times, he's made likable by the fact that in every episode he either does something good or he does something bad and is properly punished for it. It's not really a backstory they give him, but a simple reason for why he hated Campbell, and it's an understandable reason. Why would he want to like the place where his neglectful parents unhesitantly dumped him at? Why should he give a chance to a place that, to him, is the equivalent of a pile of old and forgotten toys? Then there's David, an incredibly positive goofball that practically worships the campsite, who's insistent that he can get Max to like camping, and dismisses his hatred of the place as childish pouting. Max has every reason to hate Campbell and David. He has every reason to stay in his closed-minded bubble and never at all try to enjoy his summer, even though camping is something he otherwise would enjoy. But then, he meets a couple of unique people. The first episode is when Max meets the new campers Neil and Nikki, who at first want to get away from Camp Campbell as much as he does. After their failed attempts to escape, they start spending more time together during the camp's activities, getting to know each other and forming friendships. Max finally has people who will actually listen to what he says, who he has things in common with, and who take his reasonings for disliking camping with a grain of salt. Over the course of the show, we see the three of them slowly beginning to enjoy the camp's activities when doing them together. While Max is still a bit of a schemer that enjoys causing mischief, he finds himself helping his new friends for no reason other than he just wants to. There's a subtle shift in Max's mood as during the second season, he's since stopped trying to escape the campsite, settling into his new environment. After our MC is able to open up to someone, he feels more free in expressing himself around others. This newfound latitude leads him to venting in front of David in the episode Order of the Sparrow, at a moment when he feels he is truly in the right. In doing so, he learns more about the goofball and why he works as hard as he does. Max starts to acquire a small respect towards David and has more faith in him and his decisions from then on. We can see this development in the very next episode, Cult Camp, where he puts his entire well-being in the hands of David, believing that he'll make the right decisions. Over the course of Season 2, with well-done scenes across several episodes, the two begin to grow closer and more understanding of each other. David doesn't continuously try to get our MC to like camping because it means a lot to him personally, but because he does actually care about Max and his happiness, and he wants him to enjoy his summer, something Max isn't used to. While Max is still a grouchy straight man to the show's more silly characters, his relationship with most of them, particularly with David, is the kind one would typically have with their family. A I hate you, but I don't hate you type of dynamic. Max still causes trouble for some of the other campers, but he also uses his brains to help them and even takes risks to protect them when the situation calls for it. Max's development is one of the reasons why I love this show so much. It's an adult cartoon that understands that adults who watch cartoons don't just want non-stop shock humor, but want good development for characters worth caring about and a story that can interest them. Sure, Camp has its sex jokes and things you'd find in a typical adult cartoon, but it manages to make up for that with well-done character development over the course of fun and entertaining episodes. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this video. It's a bit different from my normal content, but I enjoyed making it. If you would like to see me make more videos similar to this one, please be sure to let me know. I already have another character from another show that I think I could do a review of. With that, I'm out.